Hello, and welcome to another episode of How to Have Outrageously Awesome Employees. I am Randy Starr, and I'm your host. And this episode, we're going to talk about, or I've entitled this one, Walk a Mile in Their Shoes. I've been doing a lot of research lately about communication and relation with your employees and how to understand, have some empathy, if you will, how they feel, how they react to different things. And it reminded me of this. I had this plaque when I was a kid that hung on my wall. It was a Native American prayer. And it said, "Grant that I may not criticize my neighbor until I have walked a mile in his moccasins." Now, as a kid, I always liked that plaque and read it frequently. But let's think about what it's saying for just a bit and how powerful that phrase or prayer is if you follow it. We are a nation that is quick to comment, like, share, and critique, whatever you want to call it. Just remember that unasked for advice is criticism. When it comes to dealing with employees or your team, it is vital that you attempt to follow this rule of walking a mile in their shoes. Do you really understand where they are coming from? Have you actually done the job that they do? Do you truly understand the pressures, some of which you initiate yourself? I have always suggested managing by wandering around. It gets you in touch with your teams. It helps you connect to the issues they face daily. If you do this frequently, you will be amazed at how much trust and confidence you can inspire in your teams. Once you have been in the trenches with the teams for a while, you will start to get a firm understanding of the amount of work that is required and needed daily. You should then have a better idea of how to communicate with them. Now, here's your true test. Can you communicate with your teams without criticizing, condemning, or complaining? One of the 5 secrets to having outrageously awesome employees is communication. But not just communication, because anyone can just talk, send a text message, send an email, or write a note. Proper communication. Proper communication is the real secret. You see, most of us tend to discourage versus encourage. Not on purpose, but just by not having the understanding of proper communication. Sometimes the poor communication is just our attempt of helping. We want to help our teams do better, so we criticize. It's really important to remember that unasked for advice is criticism. Leaders, and you want to be a leader, are uplifting, motivational, and caring. They don't walk around pointing fingers and barking orders. And sometimes when we get busy, the latter is easier to do, and it gets our goals accomplished, but it's not good for relationships. Easy is usually not the best route. Simple is good, but simple is not always easy. To make this happen in your life, you need to start monitoring your language. Listen to yourself. If you have someone close to you that you can ask, and they will give you an honest answer, ask, "Hey, very good friend of mine, am I negative? Do I complain? Do I tend to criticize?" Again, most of us tend to do these things. So changing to a positive person who never complains or criticizes will not happen overnight. It will take some time. But if you continue to focus on making that change, you will see tremendous benefits in all areas of your life. And most of all, your teams will start to see this change and get on board. Another area that you can work on that will also tremendously increase your team's engagement levels is how you show appreciation. Yes. Recognition is another one of the 5 secrets of employee engagement. And again, just recognizing someone will not be very beneficial if it's not sincere. The real secret, sincere recognition. You see, everyone wants to belong to something. They want to be appreciated and they want recognition. These wants and desires rank right up there with money, food, and sleep. People want to feel important. Don't you? I sure do. Everyone I know wants to feel important. I would wager that once you start spending time with your teams and working side by side with them, learning their issues, successes, what they need, what they don't need, basically getting to know them like any of your other associates, you will start to build a sincere appreciation for them and what they do. Have you ever watched the TV show Undercover Boss? If those bosses would have been doing what they do on the show in the first place, they would have never had issues. Now, I don't think you need to put on a wig and fake teeth and go visit your employees undercover, but rather just go hang out with the team while they're working. You won't get the feedback like they do on Undercover Boss at first, but eventually after time, you will have all the input you want. Recognizing someone sincerely requires that you know them and what they did to receive the recognition. If you say good job on handling that customer issue, then you need to have some knowledge of the issue and what transpired. Be sincere. When you tell your employees good job at the end of the day, make sure they saw you at one point in the day. Otherwise, it's just lip service. One last thing before I wrap this episode up. One of the best ways to get to know your teams is to spend time with them at lunch. Do you usually eat in the break room? Do they? If so, this is where you need to eat lunch. Spend some time in there listening to the conversations. This is where you'll find out a lot of things about your operation and your team. Something about eating with people that just helps create relationships. I know these things will help, so please take some time and implement them into your style. If you would like some personal assistance with your engagement strategies, like to have a conversation about your current situation, or if you're interested in having an employee engagement survey conducted for your organization, please feel free to contact me. You can email me at randy@5starengagement.com or call or text 352-304-0655. Thanks for joining me again, and I look forward to our time together in the future. Goodbye for now.